Welcome everyone, so glad you're here today. For the few new faces here, my name's Michael Lott, I'm the co-pastor, and very grateful to have each and every one of you here. And we're going to start with a prayer for sending off those prayer requests. So I invite everyone to just close your eyes for a moment, and we're going to call in our beloved angels, divine light, source, God, however and whatever that looks like to your beautiful self and heart. And we ask that these beloved beings on this list, and each one of us in this room, our community and beyond, the planet, and all of the different things that are evolving on the planet at this time, we ask for this divine light to bring and surround each and every one of these ideas with peace, to help them find peace, to know that peace is a possibility, to know that peace is within them. And from peace, all things are possible. And we thank you for being here in our lives to guide us, support us, and show us the way when sometimes the way seems a little bit cloudy and mucky, to be the light shining on our path. And for all those beloveds that we have put on the prayer request list today. And so it is. Good morning. So today, this whole week, coming up to today, I've just really been thinking about the holidays and asking where and what's the inspired message for this week? What's important for us to kind of take a look at and explore together? And what just kept coming up was, being in December, and we're moving, getting ready to start a new beginning, and getting ready to go and spend a lot of extra time with our families, and whatever family means to you. Sometimes our closest family are our friends that we connect with. And so before we get onto that little talk and adventure, I feel very inspired to do a meditation together to help all of us kind of reconnect to that light within us. And I'm feeling that it's going to be kind of a chakra-based meditation. And for any of you that may not be familiar with the chakras, they're those wheels of light that are in and shine through this human body that you can see through your third eye and experience in different ways energetically. But they're the windows to our soul. And so sometimes when they get a little cloudy or a little dusty, just as when our house, our physical homes get a little dusty and things, sometimes we can't see and experience our light as clearly. So we're going to start by doing, we're so grateful to have you here.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thank you.
So I just invite you just to close your eyes and just get comfortable for a minute. Oh, we're going to do this a little differently. All right. We're going to stand up first. Our beloveds have said we need to kind of activate the energy in our bodies first before we sit. So let's all tap. We're going to do a little tap. Awaken the energy in our bodies. Down your arm, your left arm. Back up. Right arm. Down and back. If you're comfortable to bend over, imagine just coming all the way down your legs. Back up the inner part of your legs. Move around your waist, back to your kidneys. Detoxing. And we're going to come back up our chest and behind our neck, back of our neck, shoulders, and then our heads, forehead. Let's give it a little nice tap all the way around the crown, the back, and around our ears to our cheeks. Let's give it a little nice tap. And take a nice breath, arms up high, and exhale, relax. There we go. And now let's take a seat. Now we're going to close our eyes. And let's take a nice deep breath again together as we just kind of allow these energies that we've awakened within our body to calm just a bit and center so that we can go into this meditation. So here we go, a nice deep breath together. And exhale. And do two more. Nice inhale. And on the exhale, just imagine releasing, letting go of any worry, stress, or tension in your body. And on the third one, do the same. Inhale. And just imagine letting go. And then just let your breath find its normal, natural rhythm. As we again invite our beloved angels, our beloved light helpers that are here to support and guide us, to answer calls for prayers, to help us heal, and to provide all sorts of guidance and signs and symbols in our lives. We ask them to guide our meditation today and our talk for the highest good of all. And the beloved Archangel Raphael, Michael, and Metatron are here to be and help us through this short guided meditation. Beloved ones, many of you over these last couple of weeks have been experiencing much changeovers of energies. There have been a lot of turmoil type of energies on your planet. And we wish to remind you, beloved light beings, that you are and that we are together, to take time, as in this meditation that you're about to do with us, to remember that all the dramas and traumas in the world are not your true nature. They are simply a part of the human experience. So together we call in this beautiful golden light and ray down from the heavens, the non-physical realms, beaming a light of illumination into our crown chakra, the top of our head. Shining and clearing and blessing all aspects of our thoughts, sweetening our thoughts towards ourselves, sweetening the energies in our physical brain and structures in our head, allowing this beautiful crystal white, golden, and pink light to bless you and your body. And to each and every one on the prayer list, we invite this energy as well. And allowing this beautiful energy to move down through the beautiful third eye, the wheel of light that allows us to see clearly in our lives, see the truth, both for ourselves and the world, to see beyond the veil to the rock within. May this beautiful light bless, clear, dust the house, the wheel of light within us of any debris, thoughts, emotions that don't serve us at this time, making way for a new vision in your life, new clarity. Allowing this energy to continue to move down your beautiful spine and connect with the throat chakra, this beautiful house of expression, allowing that energy center to open, balance, clear, be blessed, feel blessed, be a blessing to yourself and all those around you. May this light that's clearing right now remind you of how sacred and blessed your voice is in this world. And allowing this light to continue to move down your spine, blessing your high heart and heart chakras, opening your heart to love, dusting away any debris that keep you from seeing, feeling, experiencing the love that is within the core of you. And Raphael reminds us that now would be a good time to take a nice deep breath into our heart. Activating this light through the prana of life in this human experience. And allowing this beautiful crystal light to continue to move down to our solar plexus, the seat of power and projection, allowing us to clear the center of how we project in this world and aligning it back to our light body, our love body, projecting peace. And moving down a little bit further, allowing this light to move into our sacral chakra, that seat of sensuality and pleasure and creativity and flow, allowing that center to open and balance and clear and dust out any debris. If you've been feeling trapped in any areas of your life, just take a breath into this place just below your belly button in your body and ask that it be opened. And we say a prayer that each one of us feel safe, be shown the safety and security for stepping out of our own inner prison, our own boxes right now. To new heights of peace and joy and pleasure in our lives. And finally, we imagine this energy being pulled all the way down into the root chakra, down all the way through our legs and into our feet, and down into this beautiful Mother Earth that we so blessedly get to rest our feet on. Remembering that this beautiful Mother Earth's energy has got our energy. We can always count on resting our energy on the earth. We ask that our root chakras be open, balanced, cleared, and blessed, so that we may feel the safety and security that is within us, that is us now. And we ask the angels to help balance the energy fields, the auras of us. And one more nice deep breath together. And activating and balancing, and so it is. Just allow yourself to sit for a moment. Open your eyes. Our talk in just a moment. Let everybody kind of come back into this space. Feel the blessing of the divine beings that are with us. And what a time it is as we just start in on this December, this month of so much love. There's a lot of love this month, and this month oftentimes reminds us to really connect with our friends and family as we talked about. I want to take a minute. Had somebody mention this week about numerology, and it just kept coming to me this week. The importance and the significance of this month and the completion of this year, and going and activating as we go into this month consciously the shifts that are really available to us right now. For many of you that, I know a lot of you study numerology, so many of you may know that this year, 2016, is a 9 in numerology. If you add 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 6, it comes out to be 9. And 9 is oftentimes a very powerful completing energy. But it's not just about completion, it's about, someone who always comes to mind when I say the number 9 is Mother Teresa. It's that blessed coming into love from the cycle that we are completing. Finding love, finding peace in all of the lessons, all of the experiences, and offering to see it in a new way, so that when we go forward, 2017 is a 1. So we are literally at the end of a cycle in all of our lives. This is the collective cycle. There's also personal cycles, which we're not going to go into today. But as a collective, we're going into a massive time of letting go and rebirth, and seeing some new things about ourselves. So as we go into this month, I invite each and every one of you today to really take some time as we go and get further into this month, as we get towards the full moon, and we've got a new moon towards the new year, to really consciously decide within your hearts what it is that you have been blessed with over these last 9 years. What is the growth that has brought you to where you are today? And I guarantee there's nobody in here that has not had a lot of growth, right? Some of them may have been challenging growth things, but this is the time to bring them to our heart space and bless them. The challenges, the joys, the challenges that have turned into joys, all of these things. Now's the time to really do that and take this 30 days that we have to put some focused energy on blessing these last 9 years of our life. What goodness has happened, what things and challenges have turned into goodnesses, or have allowed us to see something about us or our lives that can be life-changing or path-changing. So in this, one thing that I'm really grateful for, and I look back over this year, is the first Sunday of this month we started Illuminated Spirit Community. And what a blessing. Didn't really know on the vision of Victoria, our pastor right there, her calling to just start this and see where it goes. And I just would like to activate that appreciation and blessing for all that has happened in this almost year that we've been showing up every Sunday, and about since the middle of the year, every Wednesday, to be a vessel. And so many things have evolved, so many things have gotten clear, and many of you that have been here regularly can feel that what we've started is about to shift in a big way. Mm-hmm. And so not holding on to where we've been, but allowing the blessings of where we've been to take us to the next level, which is exactly what we're saying for our lives. Where have we been in our lives that we're ready to no longer hold on to, but just appreciate? Just from our heart space, just appreciate it. And no matter what what it's brought up in our hearts, lives, our families, that it has given new opportunities and brought new opportunities to the table. So let's all take a breath with that. Let's all take a breath. To really let our hearts, over this month, go there. To really let our hearts look at those blessings. Look at the things that have brought us to where we are today. Because it's in that conscious exploration that we can go, wow, that has been a blessing. And you know what? I'm still a little maybe stuck or holding on to that. I'm just going to bless it, and I'm going to take a breath, and I'm going to choose to set it down and give myself some room to allow a new vision to come. Here's the other piece of that. As we leave this 9-year and move into a 1, many of you already this year have had these brand new things opening up. I'm seeing it all over the place. Mm-hmm. Brand new things. So it's, here we go into the 1. You've already been opening, the doors are opening, ready to start over. And the things that keep us from soaring in that are these little things that we hold on to. You know, little irritations, little things, and look at all the things that are going on the earth right now, in our communities, that if, depending on how we're willing to look at them and be present with them, are an opportunity to see how we can let go of the frustrations, let go of the ties that don't serve us, and just be blessings for one another. We see that happening in the recent fires. Look at everything that showed up. So many people just showed up. Now it's time to show up for ourselves. It's time to show up for our own self right now. Just as we show up for the community around. I think for a lot of us healers, sometimes it's easier to show up for the community than it is to show up for our own selves. And now, it's time to show up for ourselves. And as we go into this time with family, how can we do that? How can we show up for ourselves when we go into our family situations that may remind us of some of the things over the last 9 years, or maybe even 18 years, or 27 years of frustrations and things that may find themselves somewhere in our system coming up. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. How do we own and choose to start anew, to really choose to start the 1 over, but not from scratch, from all the lessons. It's like going into a new level of your life if you're willing to let that happen. And if you're really willing to let that happen, things get a lot easier, because we're not dragging these little cords from the previous 9 years with us, so it gets a lot easier. So what are some ways, to do this when you are in the midst of family, friends, situations, the things going on the planet that are bringing up those reoccurring emotional traumas that have happened? Sometimes we just need to take a break and go be with ourselves in the midst of all of this. Sometimes we need to choose just to bring peace to those situations, and no matter how challenging or emotional it may be, to take a breath and greet our beloved, who we have some emotional thing with an offering of peace. And there's the tiding of this month, to choose to bring to ourselves first, because doing that, sometimes that's how we do the work for ourselves, by doing it outwardly, and sometimes we got to do it inwardly. And it's taking time and pausing enough to realize and check in with what you need to do in a given situation. this year as a 9, every month in the numerology calendar, so December a 12 is a 3. So if you do it with the year, it's also a 3. So the energy of all the months in a 9 year is like laser focused and amplified. So this month it's a 3. So we have a double 3. 3 is high energy. It's I think of 3 as joy and creativity and all those things. So there's a lot of universal energy supporting us right now with finding joy. But if you're not careful and don't take the time to kind of just check in, you can find yourself spinning out in these high speed currents, because 3s can be really fast moving energies. So it's really extra important. I'm just reminding you now that this month how important it is to slow down. When you feel like the world is picking you up and running you through the door, these presents, those presents, work, to take a breath and really consciously slow yourself down so that you can tap in to the blessings right now of letting go and starting anew. And I have the sense that in here we're going to, part of the unfolding of this month and moving into, the new year with a burning bowl ceremony that we're going to have, is gently activating and helping activate that energy for us. So I'm going to ask you a question. You don't have to answer it out loud, but what is and how can you, for yourself, honor your own self the most right now? Just take a minute and really check in. Ask yourself the question, how can I honor my own peace, my own joy, my own path to its highest form right now as we enter this month? Just let that answer just kind of bubble up to the surface within you. What might that look like? So we all hear our own guidance. We all are tapped in. If sometimes we just need to pause and clear out a little bit, make room. And then just remember this as you go into this month. And let's ask that be made even more clear for you as this week goes along, and the next week, that you can really tap in and make choices that align with this message that is the right thing for you. No matter how challenging this month and things that arise, that you know within yourself that this is extremely important for your own well-being, your own peace of mind, which will bring peace to those around you and the earth at the same time, which we need. We need it. The earth needs it. Our country needs it. The world needs it. Needs us to activate the promise that we made within our own journey to be our true self. And many of you, and I know this from my own experience, that when we bypass our true self in situations is most of the time when we have emotional challenges, when things get rocky and shaky and all those things happen. Or if we try to be our true self and we're shaking in our boots when we do it, sometimes you just got to take a breath and say, I know this is the right thing. It's who I really am. And no matter what happens or what shakeout occurs for me just being myself, it's okay. The world needs all of us, just as we needed ourselves, to be the highest version of ourself right now. And it'll look completely different to every one of us. This last month, coming into this, I've been working personally on radiant body meditations. We have this radiancy with us that allows us to, no matter what happens around us, to stay a light. And those of you that are here, everyone's an empath here. Everyone has opened themselves up to allow themselves to be empathic, which means that your ability to feel others, to feel situations, to tap in and experience in different ways the energies that are going on around you and within you. So if our radiant bodies are weak, we get stuck with feeling everything and we don't know what to do with it. It gets stuck in our lower chakras down here because we have these, maybe a little guilt that we need to do this, or maybe a little bit of shame or feelings of I should have been nicer to this person, or I should have been more clear to this person when we're out in the world. And if we have some of those things that are activated within us, when we see other people that have those activated, guess what? It activates both of us. Wah! Wah! And activates those feelings to rise, and that's when we have to stop and pause and really reconnect. Being empathic is a gift. It's such a gift. It's actually the basis of this Aquarian age. And what I mean by Aquarian age, in 2012, we transitioned permanently from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. And the Aquarian age is the time of activating our sensitivities and being that in the world and taking it out and connecting and being the visionaries for the new world and the new energies. Letting go of control. The Piscean energies were about control. So guess what? All these things are things that we're having to confront. So as we come into this end of this year, taking some precious, precious time to just confront those energies within ourselves. Because when we transform with love, consciousness and love, those energies, those little controlling tendencies or fears or things within ourselves, to be the sensitive, empathic beings that we are and are destined to be now on this planet. When we take that time, then we begin to own our sensitivities. We begin to feel safe. And guess what happens when we feel safe in our own feelings? Our radiant bodies get stronger. When we're okay with feeling not okay, our radiant body gets stronger. When we're okay with not being okay, this does not mean to not be okay. This means that whatever arises within you, you're okay to look at. That's what it means. That's how we activate that energy, our empathicness. I'm finally beginning, I had someone walk up to me as a reminder recently and tell me, Michael, you know that you have this ability to take people down into the dark shadows. And I'm like, like, all right, I'll own that, because actually when you say it, there's nothing that brings me more joy in this whole world than diving to the depth of the darkness within myself. It brings me joy because I know without a doubt, I've experienced it in my life without a doubt, that when I lean on the infinite, when I lean on the light within me, it doesn't matter how dark it is, it doesn't matter how scary it is. That light is more powerful than any dark part of ourselves. And we all have those shadow parts within us. It's just part of being human. And activating our empathic, sensitive selves, which is how we bring this world together as a oneness, in these human bodies, that's how we do it, is activating our empathicness, our psychic sensitivities. We've got to be able to dive into sometimes the uncomfortable waters. Mm-hmm. And when we're okay enough with the uncomfortable waters within our vibration, that's when we can calm. We can literally begin, if we can be and have a sense of peace and love, that even if I'm angry, it's okay because there's a reason behind that anger. We can begin to command calmness through our system and learn that it's a choice. I command calm over my body and every cell, and it'll listen. If we don't go in and dive into those areas, and we don't want to look at the fear, we don't want to look at our little judgment over here, there's no commanding anything in that area. There's no way. You're not going to command it because it's commanding you. It is commanding you instead of you commanding it. So what does that look like? It looks like when we allow our light, being in tune with our light being, our soul, that higher self of ours, and learn how to activate that energy and keep working toward activating it more and more in our life, we begin to let our soul and higher self be the commander, which is the source within us, be the commander for our body, instead of the body and all its emotions and all those things be the commander of the soul. My recent journey with yoga has been the most groundbreaking illustrations of that in my life that I've ever experienced to this day. And I can only imagine in a training program right now what is around the corner. In a short time, I've seen just these dramatic transformations within the ability of activating the radiant body within myself, and how that completely transforms my ability to be present on a deeper level with people and myself. So I invite you again this month to really look at these things, to learn to pause with uncomfortableness instead of run away. A lot of us like to dance. We don't think we like to dance, and oftentimes the ones that don't think we like to dance, those are the ones that want to run from those little things. We just kind of lock up a little bit. Our body gets kind of stagnant a little bit, and we just shut down. What if, when you feel the uncomfortableness rise over the holidays, it's bound to happen at some point, just some uncomfortableness, to just take a breath. And if you need to do a little dance or movement, let's let it move. Let's let it move. Sometimes we need to move our bodies to move the energy. Our lower triangle, those 3 lower chakras. If we don't move our body, the energy a lot of times stays in one place. And that's the other part of activating breath. Breathing through the uncomfortableness of things. That's why we're probably every time we're going to start, whoever does up here is going to start with the breath, because not only does breath move the energy within me if I'm up here breathing, if we do it together, it moves the collective energy of the group, which is amplified exponentially for helping us all shift. That's the power of going to group energy healing, energy yoga, whatever, qigong, different kind of things. When you go to these group activities and participate with your open heart and whole being, it's an exponential power that you bring into transformation. So I'll take another breath. We're going to take a minute to just talk a little bit about, I was told we need to talk about this, about Kundalini and the rising of Kundalini. What is that? How many people hear about that and they don't know what it is? Or it's kind of a little gray areas at times. So the Kundalini is the energy of the soul within us that rises. It's the soul nerve, that light. It's oftentimes in yogic traditions, they talk about 2.5 coils sitting at the base of the spine. Coils down there. Actually 3.5. It's 3.5. And so when we activate it, it begins to allow this energy to move, the soul energy to move up. It sits at the base of our spine. And so as we allow, sometimes it just happens. Sometimes life, when you're ready, boom, the energy moves up. And when it moves a lot. It can move all kinds of emotions, stagnant things, because there's a part of you that's ready, it's time, boom, it'll move and shift and create a ripple in your life. And it can take a lot of different forms. But it's that natural soul energy within you that the more that you activate, the more that you pray with, the more that you call upon, the more that you go in and look at your shadow sides, the more that you be okay with who you are, that it just moves with ease instead of BAM! There's some of us experience BAMs. That's okay too. Sometimes we need a BAM. Kind of, it's not always fun though. But remember, the more that you naturally do the work of the transformation through your day, Kundalini just happens. It just happens. It just moves. The soul energy moves right on up and clears us out and opens our chakras. So if you're finding energetic stagnancy within you, breathe. Be open. Say, I'm open to all the blessings that my soul has for me. Let's say it out loud, repeat it together. I'm open to all the blessings my soul has for me. Again, I'm open to all the blessings my soul has for me. And let's take a breath on that. And those blessings may take on quite a rainbow spectrum of blessings. They may look like all over the map. And that's okay. It's scary sometimes when we find out how fun it is to jiggle our butts. Seriously, how many of you, when someone says, we're going to get up and dance, you get scared? I'm not good, I'm supposed to dance a certain way. You know, dancing looks like X, Y, or Z. Right? And it's okay if you don't raise your hand, but I know it took me a lot of years to work through that and just be like, you know what? I'm going to shake my butt whether people like it or not. But it's like that with a lot of parts of ourselves, you know? There's different parts of ourselves that are a little scary to wiggle. You know, what if I wiggle that part of me? That actually it feels good when it feels good when I'm in the room. This is me talking right now. It feels good when I'm in the room by myself. You know, I can wiggle it all day long. But then when I go out and share that wiggle, that part of me with other people, that's when it really, like, whoa, what if they don't like it?
Not me.
And that's the energy that, you know, there's the confronting that uncomfortableness. Sometimes in the wiggling, in the just shaking it up and being with people like this community that we have that's to be so blessed and sacred, that we create a safe place for each other to wiggle out. of our boxes. Just wiggle out. Our bodies are where we stay in our box. Totally. If you haven't already seen this in your life, it's a direct correlation between how free you are in your body and how free you are in your life. Not meaning if one person does a split and somebody can't, that's not what I mean. I mean your willingness to wiggle, and no matter what it looks like, it's a direct correlation. So dancing, I know some of you love to dance and you do it all the time. It's a great opportunity, but what does that mean? Maybe dancing is pulling out the coloring book and dancing with your hand with colors. Maybe it's doing jewelry. We have people that love doing jewelry. But whatever that is, now is the time to activate it. Now. Creativity is how you activate your sensitive self. They're directly connected. There's no separation from that. So, if you're feeling a little stuck or stagnant, what's a good way to do it? Pull out a coloring book, pull out your pencils, turn on some tunes, wiggle that body. We're talking simple, basic, get the energy flowing kind of way. Because a lot of times that's all that happens. We just feel stuck for the moment. And until we just move that energy, it can simply be standing up, patting down, whatever works for you. But I invite everyone in here to try something this month. If you're not already doing it, try something that's different than you've done before. Maybe it's driving into work and you turn your favorite music on and you let that body shake in the seat. Maybe you let yourself belt something. Even if it's out of tune, who cares? It's not until that you let yourself be okay with out of tune that you can actually move in tune. Which is really the fundamental basis of our talk today. We have to be okay with being out of tune before we can ever be in tune. This world seems so out of tune, and so much of us fight. We fight that being out of tune. You're out of tune. This is out of tune. Let's take a breath. And what if we were okay? You know what? That's out of tune. That's okay. How can I bring me in tune? How can I bring me in tune? It's really that simple. I think all this is really a lot simpler at times than we make it. I know for me sometimes, think about things a lot. And I'll tell you, this week was extremely challenging for me coming into this, because I felt that there was a part of me as I came into today that was like, I was wanting to do today in a way that I had done before, and there was no part of me that was having it. There was no part of the divine that was having it. There was no part of any of that. And I kept fighting it. And finally, this week, it was like Friday, I'm like, phew, I just gotta let go. And it would just keep coming back, fight. I've been using my yoga, has been my way to just command back. Look at those things and take command. Because some of these patterns that we have and that we're confronting go beyond this experience. You might not know what in the world they even mean, but you get afraid, you feel scared, you get angry. Some of the stuff you may not have a clue. And if you ask, it may not make any sense. So don't think that it all has to make sense to confront your uncomfortableness. Us in this United States zone of the world, we tend to get a little bit more analytical about things than get in our groove, shake it up about things. So it's good to remember to not think too much. Sometimes the thought and the direct thought is awesome and we need it. But sometimes we can get a little too chatty in there with things, and that's when we take a breath and we learn to shake it up a little bit, get the energy moving. Let's not worry about that I'm angry or scared. I'm going to look at it. We're going to breathe through it, and then we're going to choose a new choice in that moment. It takes practice, because sometimes it's hard, right? Sometimes it's hard to go, you know what, instead of getting frustrated about this or overwhelmed or anxious, I'm going to choose what gives me peace. It means completely upsetting the out-of-tuneness, striking a new tune, where our body doesn't like that. It goes, ah! Our ego goes, ah! That does not, it completely will yell back at us. But when we learn to really understand what is that soul part of us, and let us get in tune, and let us command from the soul. Let us command from that, and then all things are possible. Everything's possible. Peace is always possible from that point. You can bring it everywhere, and the more you command, you become an embodiment of the light that you are. And I believe that's the journey that every single person in this room is on, is not becoming necessarily a channel of it, but an embodiment of the light that we are. Because channeling, those of us that do a lot of that, we stay up here. We stay up here. And that's okay. That's a part of that process and that kind of thing. But being an embodied light being means we come all the way in. And when we can get to our navel point with that light and be okay with the uncomfortableness as we move down and project our light being from our navel down in our body, people hear it. There's no guessing, it's heard. Boom. Because it's projected from the whole being, not from these higher spaces. And that is really the blessing that we all have to learn, is how do we embody our light from head to toe. And it means being okay with the uncomfortableness. So we're going to take one last breath together. And let's all repeat. I am okay with my uncomfortableness. I'm okay with my uncomfortableness. It's okay for me to look at the parts of me where uncomfortableness arises. It's okay for me to look at where uncomfortableness arises. And let's take a breath. All the way down to your belly. Breathe deep, 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 deep. Hold it for just 2 seconds. And blow it out your mouth. One more breath and we're done. All the way deep, 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 deep. And blow it out. Thank you, beautiful blessings that we are together, for being here today, for choosing to go on this journey together where we are activating in a powerful way the light on this planet, starting with ourselves first. And all things are possible from this vantage point. All. Period. Exclamation point. It's time to celebrate. This month, how about we as a collective, we choose to celebrate the blessings as we move into this energy with our friends, family, winding down, slowing down a little bit, remembering to slow down, to celebrate your blessings. And so it is, and we're going to tune out. Thank you, Marlene, for tuning us out with the crystal bowl. We have a few new folks in here. Maybe you could share what that is.
Well, first of all, we want everyone to ground themselves, because this is the third eye bowl. Okay. All you have to do to ground yourself is set the intention. You just tell yourself, ground. Put the feet down on the earth. Feel the energy where you connect to the earth. Some people like to make a little vision of tree roots coming out from the bottom of your feet down into the earth to anchor you. Whatever works for you, because this will take you up and away.
And as Victoria always says, let's go have some fun.